Right, okay, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be going through Pochettino's press conference for the game ahead of West Ham. It is Saturday today. Tomorrow we play West Ham at 4:30. Yesterday Pochettino did his press conference. If you want to watch the press conference, you can find it on the Chelsea app, YouTube. It's out 15 minutes long. But I'm just going to be going through all the questions and I'm going to be just taking the main bits he said and go through them and whatever. So yeah, let's get into it. So start off then, we're going to start with the Reece James questions. You got asked about Reece James, the injury length, how bad is it, and this is what he had to say. So he gave us how much time he could possibly be out for, saying it's not a few days, it is a few weeks. The good thing is it's not a big issue. So obviously that's quite good that it's not a big issue. It's obviously still annoying to be out for a few weeks. I expect having to be out until the international break at least. He said it's a sad moment because he's our captain. He was excited to be our captain. And then he also just added, we're going to assess him day by day. And as soon as possible, he's going to be again with the team. And for sure, he's going to become stronger and stronger than he was. And that's something he emphasised a lot with Reece James, being stronger than he was before and making him stronger. I think it's good because obviously clearly he needs it because he's out injured every month by the looks of it now. Hopefully they can bring James back, get me in as quick as possible when he's ready, and only when he's fully fit and ready. So he was also asked about Romeo Lavia. Obviously Romeo Lavia got confirmed earlier on this morning, so of course there was going to be questions. He had this to say about him as a player. We all know him, his quality, his profile. I think the perfect player for this project. We're excited and happy to add him into the squad. Yeah, pretty usual. You know, we do all know about him, we know how good he can be, and I think us Chelsea fans share the same feelings. And then he was also asked about Caicedo and Lavia choosing us over Liverpool, and he said that. He said, well, that is about player decision. It's great that the player decision is to come here. That makes us very happy, and they talk very highly about our owners and our sporting director. The player wanted to come here, I think, because they're feeling something special. I hope they're feeling something special. And then in a different question, he said, to have this type of player like Moy, Romeo now, and all the previous signings, I think it's fantastic work from the club. Yeah, it's a very good point. Yeah, it's brilliant what the club have done to bring such good talent over other teams, and the players choosing us not based off money, but based off how much they love the club, what they see is going on in the club. And I do think there's a lot of players looking and thinking something special is happening, because that's how I feel. You know, we're getting a nice young squad together. We have the youngest squad in the league, and you know we're building something. And hopefully, you know, this is the start of something special. He was then asked about a debut for Lavia and Caicedo against West Ham. He had to say, we have one more day to assess them. The most important thing is to avoid risks and rushing them. If they are ready, they will be involved. Pretty self-explanatory. I doubt Lavia will start, maybe even play. Obviously, he only signed yesterday. He would have had one session max. I think Caicedo has a good chance of starting because he was confirmed Monday, was it? So, Caicedo's got quite a good chance of being involved. Lavia, I'm not too sure, but if they're ready, play them. That's how it is. And he was also asked about the West Ham game. What do you actually expect from West Ham, and here's what he had to say about them. I think it's going to be tough. We don't know how they're going to play. Maybe they're thinking of changing their shape. All the Premier League games will be difficult. They have a very good team, and they're doing a very great job. Last season, they lifted the trophy. Obviously, talking about the Conference League there. And you know, they are going to be very tough. They got, I think it was a draw in the first week, you know. They're bringing good players. James Ward-Prowse, I'm worried about him. Maybe typical from just scoring a debut against us. But they're bringing in some nice players, Edson Alvarez as well. But you know, they have got weaknesses. They're striker, you know, going forward, a bit worrying. You know, the Premier League these days, a lot of the games are tough. I think this season the quality's actually dropped off a bit. I think it's very 50-50. I think there's half of the table, you know, very good, and the other half isn't great. But you know, in the Premier League, it doesn't matter if you know you haven't got the best squad in the world. It's still going to be a tough game because the atmosphere, the tempo, everything is going to be a tough game. And then I guess sort of on the similar subject of it being tough, he was asked about what did you learn from playing in week one. He had this. He said it is really tough competition. The tempo is amazing. It's higher than the other competition in Europe and the world. The time to recovery is completely different, and it is the most difficult competition in the world. No one's arguing with him, is it? No one's arguing with him. It's fact that the tempo is you know a lot higher. You know, it's a lot harder to play, and that's why you see players come over from Bundesliga or from the league, and sometimes they take time to adapt. So on to the injury situation then, about players who are injured, and I think he was asked about, I think Arteta said something about it, and he was asked about what Arteta said. Here's what he had to say. We need to understand what is going on in our business. If we want to be here sitting paying for players and salaries and every year, improving every single aspect of our life. Every club is different. I cannot say Nkunku is injured because of the tour or because of too many games, because I don't want to lie. Things like that happen in football. See, I think Arteta said something about with the constant games players are having to deal with, and that players are more likely to get injured. And of course, he has a very good point, and I don't think Pochettino necessarily disagrees. You know, he doesn't really like to speak on other managers that much or other teams. I mean, it is hard, and that is why you need a bigger squad these days. Yeah, I mean, he makes a good point. I don't think the Nkunku injury necessarily is because of too many games to happen in pre-season. Right, so we've also seen Michael Olise, who signed the new Crystal Palace contract. He was asked about signing a new attacker, and yeah, he had this to say. We're working, of course, looking at all the options, what we can manage on the market. At the same time, I think we are keeping one or two eyes on Armando Broja, because I think he cannot forget him, and we cannot stop him. We really believe in him. We're looking at him, we know him very well, and he can be very important strike for Chelsea. We need to be patient and try to adapt our squad. So, Armando Broja, a player I'm a big fan of, and I'm happy about this, because I think he's a really good striker. I think obviously there was rumours in the week that we had blocked an AC Milan move to try to get him on a loan to buy. He had that ACL injury in December in the pre-season, sort of the friendly game, coming back from the World Cup. But yeah, I think it's really good. Poch looking at him as a very good possibility to push Nico Jackson, use alongside Nico Jackson. I think that's a really good move. Then it was not just a new attacker that people were asking about. They also want to know about a new goalkeeper. Obviously, Kepa going out and loan in the week. We signed Robert Sanchez, but now we've only got one proper reliable keeper, you would say. And here's what we have to say about that. We are thinking of that. So we are thinking of all the situations and possibilities in the market. So yeah, we don't know whether we're going to go for a new goalkeeper or not. There was rumours about a Serbian keeper from the MLS. I'll look into that in a different video. We could go for another keeper, but not sure yet. I mean, it's annoying because we've got Salino, but he's out on loan. If Real Madrid went for Kepa just a bit earlier before we learned about Salino, it would have been a lot more helpful, but I think Qatar got his injury then, that's time, and that's how football works, I guess. But yeah, it'd be interesting if we go for another keeper. We're talking about new signings. He was asked about how he feels about the squad right now. And yeah, I think it's fair to say he's quite happy with it. I was in a good place now. I think we're in a better place, but I was always happy. I think the squad is really exciting. Now it's about the process, and it's about working really hard to find the best dynamic to perform and win games. And in a later question, he also added, I think the 22-23 players plus 3 or 4 every week from the academy, I think is good. No bigger than we have now. Maybe we can add some player, but this number 22-23 I think is perfect. So that's talking about what players he likes in the squad. We know Pochettino isn't a player to like to have a massive squad. He likes to have quite a little squad he can work with, only really about 2 players at every position. Very different to what we had to do with last year, but we have got rid of a lot of players now. And last but not least, there was someone said something about an interview the players did in a week about when they said they see him more of a friend than a manager. So he had a joke about this, but here's what he actually said, and it's quite an interesting thing. So yeah, he said, you have to be strong, tough coach, but at the same time you can be friendly and you can be honest and be tough. Today, the way we approach the young guys, it's important to understand the psychology of the players. Past was different, but now I think we need to learn and see the society of how they are and apply to the ideas and way to approach them in a way where you can get the best of them. In some ways I am happy, and in some ways I'm disappointed because I don't know if I am better friend or better coach. I prefer to be better coach. And we know Poch is he's known as one of the best managers in the world. The way he can take young talent and make them one of the best players. You saw Dele Alli is a very good example of it. What he can do with young players and how he can manage them is incredible. And it's really good to get sort of insight here of just a bit of the way he thinks about it and the way he sees. It's really interesting. So yeah, that is it for today. That is all from Poch's press conference, the main bits. So we understand now what Reece James' injury is like. It's a possibility that Lavia and Caicedo could join us. Can make their debut against West Ham. We know squad-wise that there might be one signing. Maybe. There's still a few players to leave, we already know that. But overall, he's quite happy with the squad. So yeah, that's all we can get from Poch's press conference. It's the West Ham game tomorrow, 4:30. Away to West Ham, it's going to be a hard game. We haven't got the best of records away to West Ham. But yeah, it'll be quite a good game, I reckon. We'll do a match preview for that some point in the next day or sometime tomorrow. So look out for that. But yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.